Hey, one and all, your host Steve with Geek Boulevard here, giving you my review of a film I got the chance to see this past Sunday. It's a psychological horror film called Stopmotion. It's directed by Robert Morgan. It is rated R with a runtime of 1 hour and 43 minutes. The film is about a talented stop-motion animator who becomes consumed by the grotesque world of her horrifying creatures, with some deadly results. I want to start with my positives, and firstly, the stop-motion animation that is on display here is so creepy, so well done, and that hybrid mixture of stop motion with live action was well balanced and definitely enhanced the film to a degree that I didn't really expect. The characters are so grotesque looking, especially a character called the Ash Man, who has a pretty big role in this story, and when you get a good look at him, it's definitely very unsettling. Our main character, Ella Blake, is played fantastically by Aisling Franciosi, who is the daughter of a very famous stop-motion animator in the film. Her mother had come down with arthritis and needed her daughter's help in order to complete one of her films, but it's only when her overbearing mother ends up in the hospital does Ella decide to create a new film with the help of a little girl that lives in her building who provides her with this story, and she has a very vivid imagination, I'll say that much. That's where all these terrifying visions and nightmares start to come to fruition. The tension that builds throughout was very gradual and kept me engaged, as I just wanted to know what the hell was even going on as Ella starts having these hallucinations and these visions of this Ash Man who is apparently hunting her at night. The film uses sound in a very unique way too, in that there are many scenes where voices kind of sound muffled and there's like shallow breathing that you hear a lot, and it kind of made me a little uncomfortable at times. My friend and I who saw this, we both kind of kept looking in back of us at the top of the theater to see if there was some questionable people sitting up there. And if you can make me do that, if you can make me feel paranoid in that way, I think that's a plus in my book. My negatives with the film tend to lie with the pacing and lack of character depth. The film has a gradual sense of tension that builds, for sure, but then it just immediately jumps up to 11 in the final act, and it kind of took me off guard a little bit. The events that unfold towards the end kind of happened really fast, and it felt like there was something missing, like there was some connective tissue that could have made those scenes a little bit more fleshed out in a way. Also, Ella's history with her mother, I felt wasn't really expanded upon as much as I would have liked. I feel that there was at least another scene or two of how strict her mother was, like in a flashback, for example. It could have justified the events that happened at the end and wouldn't have felt so jarring, and would have provided more insight into Ella's trauma. Overall, I'm giving Stop Motion a score of 4 out of 5. The marriage between stop motion and live action was incredibly well balanced and creepy in all the right ways. Hopefully more creators use the stop motion medium more often for telling stories like this, because it is a goldmine of riches to explore. A harrowing performance from Aisling Franciosi kept me on the edge of my seat, and the effective use of tension and sound design wrapped a neat little bow around this very creepy tale. The pacing ramps up rather quickly in the final act, as there's no connective tissue to justify the scenes unfolding, and some lacking character depth with Ella and the relationship with her mother I felt could have been explored more. With all that down, I want to know what you guys thought of stop motion. Have you checked it out yet? What's your top 5 stop motion animated films that you just can't get enough of? Let me know down in the comments below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subbed to the channel, the subscribe button is right below. Don't miss out on what film I review next. Until next time, folks, keep it classy and keep it geeky.
What happens when it takes on a life of its own?